Pete, your group was able to really get things going starting that second quarter. What started to click for your group that kind of turned the tide of the contest?
I thought just us getting stops and pushing the ball, and then offensively, just finding, the advantage, whether it was a matchup or the way that they were guarding a certain action, just taking advantage of it.
Your group set a new franchise record for three-pointers made in a game. How rewarding was it to see all the hard work you guys have put in that regard pay off, and what was creating those open looks?
Yeah, just a good way to start this back half of the season. Out coming off the break, setting a 3-point record. That's a great sign. And yeah, I think we just did a good job of, like I said, finding the advantage and then playing from there, and finding the open man.
You looked like you were, extremely aggressive and assertive from the jump. Was that a conscious effort for you, especially considering the type of basketball that's played after the All-Star break?
Yeah, just trying to come out, impose my will, be aggressive. Um, like you said, a lot of important games coming up. So, I think everybody on the team understands that. Just coming out, doing whatever we got to do to win these games.
We saw a strong performance from Javon Carter tonight. What stood out to you about him since joining the club?
Just his energy, his energy, his voice, obviously his play. He's active on defense, shot maker on offense. He tries to make the right play, as a point guard. And yeah, I think he's really fits into just kind of what we do. And, him being a guy that's been in the league a little minute, he has, a great perspective, and just encouraging him to, continue to use his voice out there.
Paolo, including Javon Carter, how good it was to see, that the bench was clicking just right along with you guys tonight as well.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. When the bench is going, guys coming off the bench, coming into the game, just being aggressive, looking for their shots. That's what we want those guys doing. And then also just keeping the standard up on the defensive side of the ball as well. I thought they did a good job. Guys did a good job of subbing in and just bringing great energy.
You usually have good games coming in here anyway. How do you feel about coming in tonight and wanting to keep that momentum going?
Yeah, just wanting to come out of the break, strong. Just setting the tone, and I do like playing here. Definitely, I don't know what it is. Just a great arena, So yeah, just a good way to start the break though.
I know we all talk about your mom playing here at once though, but what was it like, moving the ball around when you guys were dropping them threes and stuff like that, getting those open shots?
Yeah, I think we just did a good job of, making the defense, have to react to what we were doing, and then, that leading to a guy being open, finding that guy, and then whoever that was, stepping into their shot and knocking it down with confidence. I thought guys, didn't hesitate from three today. When they're open, guys let it fly, including myself, just being confident in the shot and, living with the results. And today, they were falling at a high level. So, like I said, just a good sign for us as a team. And, you want to – obviously, you're not going to hit 27 or 28 threes, whatever it was, every game. But just that mindset and that confidence of stepping into it, shooting it, to make it.
Hey, Paolo, just how important was it to come out here right after outside the All-Star break and get a win as you start jockeying for position in the second act of this season here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was important. I think we all understood that. Coming out the break, we're in the in a tight race in the standings. Not trying to be in the play-in. We're in seventh right now, so we're just trying to take it one game at a time. We know that this is a big road trip as well, facing some good, Western Conference teams. So good to start it off with a win, and just have to go to Phoenix and replicate the same effort and be even more, I think, locked in. They're a good team, and just got to be ready for that challenge.